meine lieben Freunde, mein Name ist Eric 2.0-HD und wir spielen weiter bei Rec Room, ach egal. Auf jeden Fall, ihr wisst es, hier ist mein Kasten Bier. Ich trinke mal. Hab ich gerade? Okay. Ich schmeiß da durch. Nochmal noch nicht geklappt. Egal. So, auf jeden Fall, wir haben ja das letzte Mal Lasertag gespielt. Oh, hier ist Wasser. Wo ist es hin? Schmeiß ich's auf den Boden. Ja. So, weg damit. Das brauche ich nicht. Ich frage mich immer noch, warum die hier da stehen. Ach, egal. Auf jeden Fall schauen wir mal auf unsere Uhr, würde ich sagen. Wir haben hier noch Cake. Das haben wir. Stimmt, was haben wir sonst in unserem Backpack eigentlich? Tools. Oh, guck mal. Oh, schöne Kamera ist meine Kamera. So, warte, ich mach mal ein Foto von mir. Ja, lächeln. Perfekt. Boah, das sieht doch ganz schön aus. Wie ich das immer so hinschmeiß. So, aber jetzt schauen wir mal auf unsere Uhr. So. So, gehen wir mal hier rein. So, was haben wir denn hier? Golden Trophy, Stanley. Was gibt's denn? Gibt sehr viel, muss man sagen. Die Auswahl. Die Krusty Rack Cap. Ja, das ist auf jeden Fall interessant. Sagen wir mal das hier. Das kenne ich noch nicht. So, Visit. The end is never the end. Das Ende ist niemals das Ende. Sehr interessant. So. The Stanley Parable were created in Rec Room. So ein Laden sieht es dann wieder auch nicht aus. Okay. Okay. Ach, mein 50 Jahre alter Computer. Ah. So, dann geht's jetzt los. Wie ich da unten, wie ich mich da unten. Nee. Kann ich weiter? Wo bin ich?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Ach, nur ein paar.
This is what employee 427 did every day, every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. Okay. Naja, wenn ich einfach auf ein paar Tasten rumdrücken muss, dann ist das wahrscheinlich auch nicht so schlimm. Sag mal, es lädt doch schon genug. Es hat doch die ganze Zeit schon geladen. Ich habe Angst. Ich nehme den Stift. Ich kann den Stift nicht mitnehmen. Kann ich hier irgendwas machen? Ah. Kann ich damit jemanden anrufen? Anscheinend nicht. Ich nehme es mal mit. Oder nicht.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Das macht mir irgendwie Angst, diese Stimme. Die ist so gruselig. Das Gebäude ist einseitig. Nein, ich gehe da nicht. Nein, ich gehe da nicht rein. Nein, ich setze mich jetzt nicht rein. Ich setze mich hier hin. Das ist eine schlechte Idee. Alter, Telekinese oder was? Oder hier. Stanley.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Das
he entered
Ding
the
hat
door
sich
on his
gerade
left.
selbst geschlossen. Das ist nicht normal.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Wow.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Komm, ich nehme mal hier was zu trinken. Oh, eine Kaffeemaschine. Nee, natürlich nicht.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Da ist noch eine andere Tür.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ich hab mich... Nein, das wird doch sowas von schlecht enden. Ich wollte doch nur meine Tasten drücken und da musste der wieder im Meeting.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Boss. Nee, ich darf hier nicht rein. Wenigstens gehen die Türen jetzt nicht mehr. Okay, ich nehme alles zurück. Ich wollte doch nur ein paar Tasten drücken.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Wie gesagt, ich habe kein gutes Gefühl dabei. Das wird sowas von schlecht enden. Kannst mal aufhören, die ganze Zeit zu laden. Oh Gott.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest,
Wie lang
as
fahre
though
ich
he
denn
felt
jetzt?
more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Könnt ihr auch wieder hoch? Nö. Ja, jetzt habe ich mich da...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh Gott. Die Türen schließen sich schon wieder. Nein, ich habe kein gutes Gefühl.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh Gott, das wird nicht gut enden, ich sag's euch. Das... Nein.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the
Spioniert er
number
uns
of an
aus?
employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich den Knopf drücken sollte. Naja, ich habe mich drauf eingelassen.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh Gott. Das wird doch niemals gut enden. Das sage ich jetzt schon die ganze Zeit, aber... Wie hoch fährt der eigentlich?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Ich dachte, ich muss
And as the
einfach...
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Sich. Soll ich einen Code eingeben? War es der Code, den ich vorhin eingegeben habe? Da muss ich hier nichts tun. Muss ich einfach nur hier durch. Was erwartet mich?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power...
Was?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Oh, shit.
Until the bomb
Wie war
goes
die
off. But
Kombination?
what precious moments
Jetzt
each
war
one of them
angefangen.
is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter,
was wird
Stanley?
passieren?
Is it that you have no idea where you're
Gott, das
going or
ist-
what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
Wie krank
Running
ist
from
das?
button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Passiert irgendwas?
Stanley.
Warum lachst du?
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Das kann niemals.
Take a look at
Ist
the
doch
clock,
krank.
Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Was?
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you
Ich
cling
hab-
desperately to your frail life?
Nein, das
Or will you let it
darf
go
nicht wahr sein.
peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's
Das-
all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me,
Tschüss.
I will be laughing at
Nein.
every second of your
Danke.
inevitable life from the
4,
moment we fade
3,
in until the
2,
moment I say,
1.
Happy ever after.
Was? Okay. Nein, 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 nein. Oh mein Gott. Das war mal was. Oh. Level 4. Komm, Geschenk. Ja, für Level 3 bekomme ich ein Kastenbier. Jawohl. Ich liebe es. Ein Hut? Brauche ich nicht. Das nächste. Komm, gib mir noch eins. Gib mir noch eins. Ach, Mann. Aber jetzt habe ich sogar schon 2 Kasten Bier. Das ist ein Erfolg für mich. Oh, Backpack. Gut. Lecker. Na, trink.
The Rec Olympics are right around the corner. 7 action-packed tournaments in 1 month? Join us for this fierce and competitive event. Here are the rule sets and what to expect. You can watch the Rec Olympics event live every weekend from 8:14 on the official Rec Room YouTube channel. Games will start at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Saturdays and Sundays. Don't miss the opening ceremony at 10 a.m. on 8/14. Due to the time constraints, only a limited number of players can compete on Rec Olympics. However, all players are welcome to participate by picking up their free Rec Olympics t-shirt and playing the Rec Olympics games themselves. How cool is that? Remember to submit your premium admissions by 8/9 to be featured in the Rec Olympics souvenir shop.
Weg. Ach, das war mal was. Das war mal was. Wasser tut gut. Das Wasser ist immer lecker. Das Rec Center schauen wir uns als nächstes an. Aber Leute, ich würde sagen, fürs Erste war's das. Genug Abenteuer. Draw on me. So, jetzt habe ich genug getraut. Ich nehme den Schwamm. Alles sauber. Schaffe ich es in den Mülleimer? Oh. Na gut, aber ich würde sagen, das war's mit einer langen Folge diesmal. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Lasst ein Like und ein Abo da. Ich wünsche euch einen traumhaften Tag. Bis dann. Ciao, ciao.